Circus parades are always fun, so have one today. Who would you like to be? A lovely white circus pony, prancing and dancing in time to the music? A clown making funny faces as he hobbles along? Or a lion tamer looking brave and strong? Make your choice and be ready. It's time for the circus parade to begin. Lion tamer, looking brave and strong. Circus parades are always fun, so have one today. Who would you like to be? A lovely white circus pony, prancing and dancing in time to the music? A clown making funny faces as he hobbles along? Or a lion tamer, looking brave and strong?
And hello, everybody. Welcome once again to another edition of Gaffing the Truth. My name is Jeff with a G, and alongside with my good friend right here, Scabs the Clown, we're going to talk to you guys for about an hour where we're just going to get drunk and talk about weird, crazy shit. So how's it going, Scabs?
Been going all right. I'm hanging out, not doing much. A little get together on Friday, had some friends over. Ridiculous was in town, came and hung out. Chris Broken, some other cool people, but nobody that's worth name dropping,
Oh man, you need a dump truck for all those names you dropped right there. No, I like when I was in New Orleans a couple weeks ago. Unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to meet up with Ree because I know they've been staying there, and we just couldn't meet up. I was hanging out with other people, which is still also cool. But I'm glad to get to hang out with Ree. I saw that they went to the Museum of Natural Science, which is one of my favorite museums in the entire world, and that says a lot. I've done the Smithsonian, at least parts of it. I'm going to go to more. Cool thing about the Smithsonian is it's all free to go. I just got to time everything out because they're doing weird free ticket stuff. But I'm planning on making my way down to DC to catch more stuff. And plus, I live in New York now, and so there's tons of museums here. So
There you go.
so soon, yes. But the Museum of Natural Science is like it's like the paleontology hall alone is like a world renowned. So
Mhm.
everybody
Yeah,
watching
and
this, get a
especially
huge.
after they changed it up and like revamped it and everything, it's amazing now.
Oh, it has. I mean, yeah. So like, maybe get just people, go to Houston, go to the Museum of Natural Science. The Paleontology Hall alone makes it worthwhile, but they have so many other great exhibits. Like the gem exhibit is also phenomenal too, and they always
Yeah,
have good,
I may be biased, but the Brown Hall of Entomology and the butterfly exhibit are really amazing.
also really good. Definitely worth checking out. Um, Nothing's been going on here lately. For people keeping track, like for the past like 2.5 weeks since moving here to Brooklyn, Coney Island. I've been living on a cot to sleep on because I'd ordered a bed, at least a mattress, to get delivered, and so I finally came in, and now that's why I get to sleep on the night. So hopefully I sleep better. And the officer is in the chat for at least the Facebook portion of it. What's going on, officer? We are going to be talking
What's up,
today.
buddy?
I was just about to segue into the fact of what we're talking about today. Today we're going to be talking cryptids, and not just any cryptids. We're going to be talking from a specific geographical region. And so today we thought it'd be fun to talk about stuff from Southeast Asia. So that's stuff from like Indonesia, talking about stuff like Thailand, Vietnam, Laos, Cambodia, Korea, that sort of stuff, all in that area.
There's a lot.
There is so much more. Like we were talking about this like a week or two ago about what to do. And I went, no, we're going to talk about Southeast Asia. He goes, no, there's not going to be a lot of it. And like 2 seconds of research, there's a ton of fucking cryptid research down there.
Yeah, but here I've found something else. Southeast Asia is composed of 11 countries of impressive diversity in religion, culture, and history. I'm going to pronounce some of these wrong. Brunei, Burma, which is Myanmar, Cambodia, Timor-Leste, Indonesia, Laos, Malaysia, the Philippines, Singapore, Thailand, and Vietnam.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. Perez just taught the kids at school about Tsuchinoko. Oh, that's very cool. Not going to be talking about that today because that's a little bit farther north than what we're talking about. Uh, but yeah, so like this is a really like because of all these different cultures in this little small amount of area, there's lots of stuff, especially when it comes to cryptids and even some weird mythologies and stuff like that that kind of bleeds into cryptids. Because even here
Mm-hmm.
in the U.S., there's a lot of cryptids that are based on weird, at least Native American mythology, so it only makes sense. Um, I don't know. What do you, like?
Got to
Let's
start somewhere.
yeah, it's true. Let's I'll tell you what. Let's talk about the Amomongo. 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 It's from the Philippines. Uh, Basically, it's like a. It's kind of like their. It's kind of like it basically describes as a hairy, man-sized, ape-like creature with long nails. The term actually involves one of the languages in the Philippines, which means ape or monkey. So Almamongo means monkey in Hiligaynon, which is one of the hundreds of languages that are just within the Philippines. Um, let's see, some fun stuff. Uh, let's see. What's gonna so this is what happened in so terror actually gripped the residents of a hacienda in Brigzig, Sanyang, Las Castellanos Negros Occidental, Philippines. That's all one place. It's like name of the city, like town, in the prefecture, in the county, state, Philippines. Um, where they follow a report existence of a man-sized creature who recently attacked two residents and disemboweled animals in the area. Elias Galvez and Salvador Aguilar reported to the mayor and the police that they were separately attacked by a hairy creature with long nails. on the nights of June 9th and 10th, 2008. So less than, what's that? What, 13 years ago?
Yeah. Wow.
Uh, yeah. But they were able to escape and treated at an emergency clinic for the scratches on different parts of their bodies, uh, and so on and so forth. The other residents described the creatures as being something about 5'4", and basically looks like a big monkey. Uh, there have been enough, confirmed reports that it does supposedly exist, that this creature, stuff like that, and everything like that. They basically just told people to be vigilant and stuff like that, to keep away from it. This is a big long thing. So they're basically they've been still playing it off the fact that it's just like a rogue monkey, like a chimpanzee or like a crazy monkey, and not think like just a wild animal as opposed to things like an Oswang, which we've talked about before. We'll talk about again. Uh, um, and so basically, the thing's attacking because it's hungry. Um, but it has since disappeared. Nobody caught anything like that. It was after those brief, like basically the period of like 6-7 days, this thing happened and then gone. So, yeah, weird big ape thing with long nails. Which I mean, that's not very common for primates to have like proper like they have a lot of them have nails to an extent, but nothing like talons or whatnot. So
yeah. It makes you wonder, like, maybe they just saw it differently, or, like, if they did see something, it was, the way it was moving, it just looked like it had longer fingers. Who knows?
well, they got scratched, which is why they go with the nails, because there was like scratches and tears,
Yeah.
like by hands.
Well, I mean, they have fingernails. They're just kind of long.
Yeah, just like they just don't, they didn't get a chance to go to the manicurist. I
Yeah.
don't know. So yeah, the Alma Mungo.
Yeah, there's no nail clippers in the jungle. Oh. I guess the one I pulled up, I guess we're sticking with the Philippines for right now. So there's only one account of this one, and it was from the account appeared titled as "Escape from the Embrace of the Man-Eating Tree" in the American Weekly, January 4th, 1925. But basically, while exploring the Mindanao region of the Philippines, a planter from Mississippi came across a dark gray colored tree that stood 35 feet and was 80 to 100 feet in diameter. That's a big fucking tree.
That's
especially
a big tree,
for like
yeah.
only, well, okay, never mind. I was going to say for only one person to see it, but surrounded by human bones and emitted a foul smell like carrion. The planter noticed the human skull lying underneath the shade of the tree and went in to further investigate. As soon as he was about to investigate, his guide suddenly stopped him and pointed at the tree in panic. The planter was soon horrified to discover that the tree had a branch that was reaching for him.
Okay.
So, giant ass tree, bunch of bones, skulls, and shit around it. All human, apparently. And yeah, it's a living tree. It's a man-eating tree.
That's some weird Lord of the Rings shit there. I mean,
yeah, fucking ents.
Fucking ents.
Man, the article, man, they just don't write them like they used to. I'm not gonna read the whole thing; it's kind of long, but quote, "The whole thing had changed shape and was horribly alive and alert. The dull leaves had sprung from their compact formation and were coming at him from all directions, advancing on the ends of long vine-like stems with stretched across the necks of innumerable geese. And now that the old man had stopped his screaming, the air was full of hissing sounds. The leaves did not move straight at their target, but with graceful side-to-side sway like a cobra about to strike. From the far side, the distant leaves were peeping and swaying on their journey around the trunk, and even the treetop was bending down to join in the attack. The bending of the trunk was spasmodic and accompanied by sharp cracks." Sounds legit.
Yeah, I mean, that
There's
sounds.
a whole other paragraph, but we don't have to go into that. I just wanted to get that swaying like cobras and hissing and.
So the Whomping Tree from the Harry Potter basically is what this is.
I'll take your word for it. I've never seen Harry Potter.
It's fine. I mean,
I barely even see Lord of the Rings. I just kind of know what ends are.
like, yeah, I'm not a big. Yeah, I'll be honest. I don't really care for Lord of the Rings very much. It's just 3 movies of walking, and that's kind of boring.
Yeah, but at least there's like space fights and some like floating objects in Star Wars.
That's true. Yeah, that's you you have the Clerks 2 tirade concerning Star Wars versus Lord of the Rings, and
Yeah.
I side with Star Wars. So let's talk about another weird creature from this actually comes from Papua New Guinea,
Okay.
which is in the Indonesia area. There's a cryptid that's called the Murray, and like Murray, like Bill Murray, just called the Murray. Uh, so like it's been around forever. First seen like there's old like actual like pictures of this sort of thing. Then it was claimed to be seen by 2 missionaries back in the day. The animal is said to be bipedal, amphibious creature, approximately 6 feet in width, with 2 short forelimbs, legs as wide as palm tree trunks, a long neck, and a slender tail. This creature's head has been compared to that of a large-eyed bovine with teeth as long as a man's fingers. It's said to have largest triangular scoops, and its epidermis has been likened to that of like a crocodile. It looks like it looks kind of like what a T Rex would be if it was still surviving today. Is basically what they said. This sort of thing. Um, and as well, it's been accused of eating some dogs. 6 like people tried to come and attack this, and it's like, and as early as like June of 2000, reports were still emanating from New Guinea saying that missionaries had traveled to the Lake Murray region, which is why it's called the Murray, armed with paleontology books in order to confirm these reports. According to the account, island natives grew agitated when they saw the images of a dinosaur, which they believed to be the monster in the lake. It was spotted as late as early like as short time ago as in 2013 by a man who happened to be playing tennis. Just 40 love. What's that? Weird.
This sounds really familiar, and I think I read that report in 2013.
Weird lake. Weird lake. Like it did. As opposed to what the the setup is like. Like most of the lake monsters or ocean monster things like Nessie, Messi, Champy, and whatnot, which are very ichthyosaurus like. This one is actually designed like almost like an amphibious like T Rex because it actually has a different look. So that's interesting in that respect. Although once again, there's been no proof. The Murray.
Interesting. So, leave it to me to accidentally stumble upon an alien.
Well, of course.
Yeah, but to be fair, like it was one of my other favorite things. It's the ghostly scarecrow of Chiang Rai.
Yeah.
Yeah, this the ghostly scarecrow Chiang Rai is in Thailand, I believe. Let's say that. Yeah, Thailand. Okay, so the ghostly scarecrow of Chiang Rai was an alien sighted in 2005 when villagers living in a rural Thailand a rice field. Located about 488 miles north of Bangkok and situated on the Kok River Basin. I'm a fucking child. I'm sorry. The
Cheers,
Chiang
everybody.
Rai province is situated within the renowned Golden Triangle area where Myanmar, Laos, and Thailand converge. Nestled within this province is the small provincial farming village of Hue Nam Rak. So Rak and Kok. Got it. There's a whole lot here. But description: the alien has yellow skin and is described as being very short. It has no arms and pointed feet. It is reported to be able to hover above the air. Wow. and attempts at some points to communicate with the humans, nodding its head to ask for help. It is said to have huge red eyes and a tiny mouth. Witnesses say it has a large head and large ears. Okay, well, here, I got a nice little picture of it. Kind of cute, actually.
All right. Yeah, that's adorable.
Yeah.
That's
I mean, if they
that's
made like a stuffed animal of it, I'd totally buy one.
that's coming to your Saturday morning cartoons when that becomes a thing again, because those no longer exist.
Mhm.
But if we want to add to that sort of cute adorableness, in another
Wait,
way,
real quick.
yeah,
I was just caught this part. This apparent mastery over the force of gravity is a trait that this entity shares with numerous other supposed visitors from out of this world, including Finland's Canula humanoid, Kentucky's infamous Hoskinville goblins, and the eerie Japanese apparition known as the alien cosmonaut. So yeah, the Hoskinville goblins. I'm pretty sure we've talked about them before.
I think we did like very briefly. Uh,
Yeah, I think it was just one of those random cryptid episodes.
yeah, where we talked about, oh yeah, here's this thing, and then we went, oh, and there's this thing.
Yeah.
Uh, So to add to this adorableness that is going to be what's called the weird like Southeast Asian cryptid children's hour, let's talk about the Tiyanak. Tiyanak is from the Philippines, because Philippines, like Indonesia, both of those places have a lot of islands, and so they got lots of different things. Uh, this one actually is a monster. Came out of based out of mythology, really, because cryptids and mythology run hand in hand. Where it actually pretends to be an innocent baby before attacking humans. So it's like a bald-headed goblin with sharp teeth, pointed ears, bloodshot eyes, and disproportionate legs. The left leg is shorter than the right one. It usually disguises itself as a baby abandoned in the forest and the field. It wails loudly to attract a passerby, and when it gets picked up, it sheds its disguise like a snake shedding its own skin, revealing its true form, and then kills the victim by biting and mauling. Various speculations say that these things came from babies born dead in the forests of the Catholic influence into the forest, to Catholic influenced unbaptized stillborn infants, and then the vengefully murdered infants and aborted fetuses. So it's still going on today, as people believe this thing to be. Um, so
There's gonna
what's
be a
weird,
bunch
in
of them in
fact,
Canada.
yeah, hey, that's true. Oh, that's true. Yeah, it's not a hey. That's oh yeah. So what's interesting, in fact, is the belief in the Tanakh. Actually, like they believe that this actually stems from a thing from Spanish missionaries coming to the Philippines, and specifically ones that came from Mexico. And why that's important is because the Tanakh is very similar to the Chanakh, which is from Aztec mythology, which is a very similar creature from that sort of stuff. So they're thinking maybe this came to be because of the missionaries that were in Mexico and then went to the Philippines, which is a very easy jump, anyways, because it's still Spanish and what yada yada yada. And then just telling stories and just like going, oh yeah, that crazy thing. And so, but yeah, the Tianak, everybody.
Interesting. Huh. And Tianak, it sounds like more like a Mortal Kombat character or something.
It's a little like bald goblin baby who like shreds and stuff like that. It kind of looks like Baraka, like a baby
Yeah.
Baraka, essentially. So
It's a baby Tarkatan. Oh my God, Tarkatans are real. Speaking of Tarkatans, and no one knows what the hell Baraka is. And this thing sounds like really cool, and I kind of want one as a pet, except for the size. If they were a little smaller, it'd be really fun. But the crocodile frog is a rarely sighted phenomenon from Borneo, described as a crocodile frog hybrid. Who knew?
Crocodile frog. That's they were bearing the lead on that name.
Yeah, I know, right? So known from both native legends and sightings in 1976 and 1985, the crocodile frog was described as a 7 to 9 feet long with slimy skin, a pointed head, overdeveloped hind legs, and a short tail. This description doesn't exactly match known modern animals, although an injured or malformed crocodile could fit the description. Others suggest the crocodile frog is a surviving example of extinct giant amphibian variants like the one shown here. And they're showing a Mastodontosaurus, which looks like just like a stumpy crocodile, basically. But yeah,
Okay.
crocodile frog. That's really the only information they have on it.
Well, 6 to 9 feet long. That might be a little big for your apartment. So
Yeah, I know. I'll get a house just so I can have one. I mean, there's a chance, like, it could be a Chinese giant salamander. It could be, like they said in the article, it could be like something malformed, like a genetic mutation or something.
It could be a wayward Komodo or something.
Yeah,
The
but I mean, the
lizard.
salamanders in like the Asian salamanders, they get like 6 feet long. So yeah,
It could be. That's very, very possible. Um, so let's talk about the Ahin Milo. Aheemmeelow.
and that
Which is
means I
actually,
love you.
yeah, eep up or ah. Yes,
Woo! You're
yeah.
old. You know about the Jetsons.
So I'm
Oh
gonna
wait,
detract from this. I'm just gonna detract from this for a second because I like this. So back in the '90s, there was a cover album called it was called
Saturday morning
Saturday.
cartoons greatest hits. I fucking had it. I love that album.
Yeah, because the Violet Femmes did Eep
The
Up or
Violent Fett did it. I mean, fucking Butthole Surfers did. I think Hong Kong Phooey. Like
They
Ramones
did.
did Spider Man. Like it was great.
Oh no, you had the Reverend Horton Heat doing Stop That Pigeon.
Yep.
No, that's such. I'm gonna have to track down that record again because I think about it every once in a while. Like, there's some great covers, like Tripping Daisy doing Singing the Sea Monster. Uh, God, God, no, thinking
Man, I don't
that's
even
yeah, no,
remember it
it's
all, but yeah, it was like a 20-song album.
yeah. What's really cool is they actually did a 1 hour special on TV that had Drew Barrymore hosting it too, and they
Really?
showcased. Yeah, no, like yeah. So like, well, because I mean, she's Drew Barrymore's my age, so it all
Actually, you know
makes
what? That does sound
sense.
kind of familiar.
So yeah. So,
Hmm.
anyways, as we checked, A.E. Milo is actually it was a reported off the Ramat Bay, New Ireland, Papua New Guinea, and essentially is a sea serpent. It is 50 feet long, has a head like a python's. Its neck is 10 to 15 feet long on its own, with it 2 feet thick. It has four. It is known to have four gray, green, or blue body loops. So like the traditional like here there be monsters on the old maps. Uh, um, had a frill on its back and vertical segmented tail 2 feet long. It moves in vertical undulations and is seen along the coasts. Could be something like a living sea dragon or some kind of highly evolved marine reptile from the age of dinosaurs, or just drunk fishermen who just mistake a weird pot of whales and thinks it's one creature versus like nine. Uh, but yeah, the fact is, like, literally, it's described like these old pictures of maps, like saying "Here there be monsters" and has like the weird sea serpent thing. But yeah, Papua New Guinea and New Ireland, no less, because
Yeah.
that's a thing apparently.
So it's just like classic dragon style, like classic Chinese dragon
Yeah,
style.
yeah.
I mean, like, yeah, that whole area has like different types of dragons, and a lot of them don't have wings in that part of the world. Whereas, like the you know, British or even like Finland, Switzerland, Sweden, like they all have different dragons, like different types of dragons, and it kind of makes you wonder, like, are these stories people are telling, or was there some kind of credence to
Uh,
it? So I'm gonna start this one off. Like, I just happened upon this, and this is one of those like dream vacation places for me. I've wanted to go to this place ever since I heard about it. It was discovered. I mean, it opened to the public in 2013, but I want to say it wasn't even discovered until maybe mid to late 90s. It's called Sondung Cave. You ever heard of it?
no.
So basically, like, this farmer like went up on a mountain. He claims that, I think he was following his oxen because they went up there, and he found this cave, and he went in, and it just got bigger and opened, and like the mountain that it's on is basically hollow. So there's river systems, there's waterways, there's open caves, like completely open. And I think he said he was the first person. I think he found like some stuff in there, but he was the first person in like hundreds of years to go in there. But the amazing thing about it is it comes to a giant opening where there's a hole on the top of the mountain that lets sunlight through, and this mountain has its own jungle system inside of it that had not been touched by man in hundreds of years. If you get a chance, SON space DOONG cave. It's beautiful. But I'd never heard about this. The devil creature of Sondung Cave. The devil creature of Sondung Cave, Vietnam, is a reptilian-like cryptid reported to be seen and captured on camera in the Sondung Cave ever since it opened to public in 2013. There's a video that said in January 2015, a video on YouTube claimed to have a picture of the mysterious creature captured by one of its visitors. The visitor captured the photo in 1992 and described the creature as having the body of a man with the face and skin of a dragon or lizard. So, wait, he got the picture in 90. Okay, so yeah, I think it was in like the 80s or something when the guy found it. Maybe it was later than that. But anyway, yeah, that's it. They have a kind of a quick picture of it. I just saw Sondung Cave, and like I've been enamored with that place ever since I heard about it. But here is kind of like, it's not impressive at all, but yeah, it's like, it just looks like something on the rock.
Yeah, it's about the same quality as the old Bigfoot video.
Yeah, but I mean, what is it? Pareidolia, seeing faces where there aren't faces.
Yeah, or seeing things within chaos, seeing patterns within chaos. Yeah.
No, I just wanted to tell people about Sondung Cave. Seriously, like, look that place up. It's beautiful.
I'll definitely check that out. Yeah. Sounds interesting.
I mean, I think so. Like, to get to the rainforest inside, like, you have to go in, you do some spelunking, you climb up and down, and you follow a river, and then you have to camp overnight and then keep going. Like, it's a long hike.
Interesting. That sounds interesting. Might be down. I might be down for that. Let's from Vietnam, we'll go to Borneo, where we'll talk about the Batutut. Because
I was just looking at that one.
The Batutut, yeah, which is fun.
Yeah,
or the Ujit. Yeah, Batut. That's basically how I came across it. Also known as the Forest People, the Wild Man of Borneo, as it were, or the Neuroring, Neuroring, butchered the fuck out of that. Basically, something kind of similar.
Cheers to being white. Like,
I'm usually pretty good with. I'm usually pretty good about it, but like that, I'm not like. It's just I'm not familiar
other languages.
With how...
Yeah, like fuck, but like Spanish, Spain and Mexico, German, French, anything. I can kind of finagle my way around like what it might sound like, but like Asian, like, I'm sorry.
Well, it's just, some of it has, but I'm not familiar with Borneo and what their language, like what their native language sounds like, so I can't use that basis. So usually, as long as I hear
Yeah.
it, I can go, all right, cool. Like I have heard Vietnamese, so I kind of like I'm using Vietnamese, but I know it's not exactly correct because there's R's in the name, and so it's not a very common thing
There's
in those Asian stuff. So
there's noises in that language that like defy human tongues.
yeah. Well, not really because they get spoken a lot. So, anyways,
No, no.
so the Batutut, because I just love saying Batutut. Basically, it's thought to inhabit the Vu Cang Nature Reserve and other wildernesses areas in Vietnam, Laos, and northern Borneo. Vu Cang has been a source of numberly like the Vu. What's interesting with the Vu Cang is the fact is like that actual preserve there have actually been tons of actual animals been discovered there. Like usually like 90%, like when they're talking like when they're like when it's not when they're usually talking about discovering new species of animals and that range from insects on up that aren't ocean based because we're still discovering a fuck ton of shit in the ocean. Uh, a bunch of stuff is in this area of the Vukang Reserve. Like a lot of stuff comes out of there. And so this one guy named John McKinnon is the guy who helps track this stuff down, and he claims to have first observed the tracks of the Batutut back in 1970, which he believed to be a hominid similar to the Meganthropus, who does live there, which is or used to live there. Uh, but there's a cryptozoologist who believes that Batutu is actually a surviving population of possibly either Homo erectus or Neanderthals. Uh, the book called Search of the Red Ape actually describes the experiences of McKinnon. There had been a 1947 sighting of the said creature, which by French colonists, who they call it the L'Homme Sauvage or Wild Man of Borneo. And it's described to be approximately around 7 feet tall and is covered in hair for the exception of its knees, soles of its feet, its hands, and its face. The hair ranges from gray to brown to black. Creature walks on two legs and has been sighted alone and gregarious. What? This has been sighted alone and gregariously. Often sighted foraging for food from nuts and leaves to langurs and even flying foxes. The ones in Borneo, they tend to be a lot more like 4 feet tall and very aggressive, occasionally killing humans and tearing out their livers. So basically, the ones in Vietnam are more like Wookiees, while the ones in Borneo are more like Ewoks.
Okay.
Because for nerddom to go here, because I'm sure you know, the fact is that Return of the Jedi was supposed to go to the planet Cassia because they didn't have the money, so they would turn from Wookiees into the Ewoks because it was cheaper.
Yeah, yeah, and like, I think I would have loved it more if it was Kashyyyk instead of the Forest Moon of Endor, but like Ewoks were way too cute. But Ewok lore, they're fucking terrifying.
Well, I think they should have. I'm fine with them being cute, but like the idea of them being cute, going, oh look how adorable, and then watching them like just totally rend a man while looking cute at the same time would have been amazing.
Yeah, I mean, like as a child, like I didn't really catch it. Then I got a little older, and I was like, oh, after the big party scene at the end when they're using their helmets as drums, where'd the bodies go? And then you see the fire, and it's like, oh,
they're eating really
the
good.
Stormtroopers.
They were eating good at that party.
Mm-hmm.
Dun, 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 dun. Yup, yup.
Yup.
Yup. So yeah, so basically they believe the Wild Man of Borneo, which has tales from like that's we do have that famous thing. It's just like they believe there's one is they believe it's just like a big ape sort of creature, but others believe it's actually a more it's probably a closer descendant to like Homo erectus or the Neanderthals.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. I don't know,
Which,
man, like the whole like Neanderthal possibility, like unless they're living in the inner earth, like or like in like a super deep cave system that has some kind of like life they can sustain themselves on, I don't think Neanderthals are still around. I
No,
think
well,
that's
no,
like that's.
technically, well,
I have an easier time believing in Bigfoot than I do Neanderthals.
well, the thing is, like, Neanderthals do kind of exist because the Homo sapiens fucked them out of existence. Like, a lot of people have, like, Neanderthal DNA within them.
Yeah,
Because,
but I'm talking like true like Neanderthal, like what we think of when we think people.
yeah, that is highly unlikely. And, like, there'd be, like, some weird, like, Iceman thing would be the closest we'll get to it.
Yeah, Encino Man.
We'll get, like, Encino Man, which would
Oh yeah,
be,
Weasel the Juice.
we done just to ooze. Betty Nugs. Oh, shit, I gotta
So
rewatch that movie.
it's been a while. So this one is kind of about something that was billed as a cryptid but wasn't a cryptid because we know who created the original, and it's one of these things.
Fiji Mermaid.
Yes, but this isn't the Fiji mermaid. This is the micro mermaid. The micro mermaid is a merperson sighted in 1997. A 15-year-old girl reportedly encountered a miniature, multi-armed, fish-like humanoid near Makati City in the Philippine Islands. The only known report of this odd mer creature comes to us from a girl known only as Sophie. According to Sophie's report to American Monsters, every Sunday she and her family would travel to Fort Bonifacio in Makati City, one of the 16 cities that make up Metro Manila, in order to go fishing and catch insects in a nearby shallow creek. There's a whole lot more. I don't want to read all of this. It's because holy shit, it's a lot. Let's see. Sophie explained her uncle taught her how to catch fish. Blah blah blah. God, this is reading like a fucking recipe on Reddit. Like I was a baby when I was born, and then I went to college when I was older. And oh shit. Let's just looking for the quotes. Saw what she described as, quote, a weird looking fish moving in an upward position away from the other fish. At first, I thought it was a newt or a salamander or just my imagination because it was only half an inch size. It was transparent in color, almost see-through. Let's see, blah, 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 bullshit, blah, blah, blah. As I looked for it again, I was amazed, looking closely at it. His face was elongated like an alien with white big eyes, small nostrils, but without the physical form of a human nose. Its mouth had small, sharp teeth. This were amazing enough. Perhaps the most bizarre was the fact that it had 3 arms on each side of its torso, completely with hands that apparently bore 3 fingers each. This is sounding like some kind of fucking cephalopod now. Like, young, obviously scientific science discovery this long blah blah blah. She says has yet to find another specimen. There are many specimens of both freshwater and saltwater fish with use fins were crawling around below the water. Mudskipper, hobo, and the Mexican walking fish are all examples of creatures that might be mistaken for a mer creature. Okay. No, it sounds like some kind of crustacean or like a mollusk or something with like little arms. I mean, like fuck you. Like if you pull back a shrimp like and open it up while it's still alive, it has all the little arms and extra shit. Maybe it was just like if it was only an inch long, it got hurt, and maybe it was attacked, and that's what all it had left was like 3 little arms on each side.
Could be, or somebody was really drunk or high.
Yeah, that Sophie. She was, what did it say? 12 years old, drunk ass 12-year-old.
That's fair, man. I'm gonna tell you, like, remember how I talked about a little bit ago how like they keep discovering new creatures all the time in this area. Here's another one that was originally called a cryptid that discovered to be true. We're gonna talk about the gilled antelope. It was a cryptid believed to exist in Cambodia. It was believed to possess the remarkable capability to breathe underwater through the use of gills set along its muzzle. But here's the thing. This type of creature exists called the Saula, which they discovered in 1992. It's a real thing. Now, the Saula does infect reals, but it does not have gills. Basically, what it is they just thought that that's what these things were. Basically, it has a a large set of sinuses situated right in front of the eyes, and so it creates this weird depression in the upper muzzle, so it kind of has that appearance of looking kind of like gills, which is why they think that's what it is. But it's also still kind of rare, kind of like the saber-toothed deer, which also really exists, and stuff like that. So yeah, it's like one of those type of things that was first believed to be cryptid, but true, just not in the way you think. So yeah, the gilled antelope or the saola, Saola, saola.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Interesting.
yeah.
We got time for a couple more, yeah?
Oh yeah, we got like yeah, we do. We got like at least one or two each.
Okay. Found a good one. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, but to me, it's going to be the Michael Jackson monster from now on because it's called a C-hee-hee.
There you go.
C-E-H-E-H-E. So C-hee-hee. C-hee-hee is a cryptid reported from Java, Indonesia. It is described as a bizarre hybrid mystery creature. The C-hee-hee has a head of a feline and body of a bovid. The fuck's a bovid?
Oh, like a
The name
cow.
comes from its long, laughing-like sound. The unique thing that it's only reported from Sigadud Forest, Sukabumai, which is encircled by Arca Mountains. Let's see. There was more to this. Agus, a villager of Sigadud Sakabumai, described it as an animal with the head of a cat and body of a goat or sheep. If the creature encountered a human, it will run away through the forest with long, eerie snickering or giggling-like sound.
See.
It was last spotted in 2014. Judging by the sound it makes, it may be an undocumented member of wild goat or sheep with face/head different from them. Might be a whole new species due to its small size. It might be a misidentification of a chevrotane. It is also possible it is a misidentification of a kijang or a muntjac, but it is also to be noted that muntjac produces barking sounds instead of laughing like sound with it when it senses danger.
Oh, then of course it's not that.
Yeah, stupid.
So yeah, okay.
Yeah.
See, he like just goes like that and he just runs away laughing. That's
Yeah,
that tracks.
just like me. Yeah.
Yeah. See, yeah, no, that tracks. Yeah, I don't know what to. But there's no notes of it like trying to molest little kids, so it can't be the Michael Jackson creature.
Yeah, true.
Hey,
Well, I don't know if there's been kids around it. We got to take some kids up there to find out.
yeah, ooh, we're getting so canceled now. Hey, let's talk about the Chong Nam. Chong Nam, or water elephant, is native to the jungle streams of Thailand. Uh, so Chong Nam looks like a miniature replica of an elephant, but it's no bigger than a rat.
Want
It's like the
one.
size of a rat, but it has a trunk and sharp little tusks, and basically it's like an elephant, but just the size of a rat. Supposedly they're really dangerous. Actually, even like seeing the shadow of a Changnam can mean instant death. They're also said to stab footprints and reflections in the water with its tusks, bringing about the death of the owner of the footprint or the reflection. Um, a lot of people try to use this like it seems uncertain whether the Changnam has a purely supernatural origin or if it's like basically it's based on some real animal. Nevertheless, the myth of the very small elephant species with the power of killing a man by poking its shadow with the tusk is very unrealistic. Uh, They're actually supposedly you could actually go to there, and you actually can go to Thailand and actually buy stuffed Chang Nam skins for whatnot. I mean, they're gaffed, but still it's kind of fun. So like things like a manipulated frog or rodent skins with tusks attached. So I don't know, it'd be kind of interesting to own like a little Chang Nam, little gaff.
Oh yeah,
Maybe
I have one.
I'll talk to some of the people I know that do gaffs and say, hey, we thought about doing this, and see what they might be down for.
Oh yeah.
Or if they already have one, for all I know, they may. I don't know. I know a guy who makes one. I know one guy who specifically made, or at least he did make some. I don't know. He has like, he's busy doing like real science stuff. So I don't know what his availability is to make stuff, but he has. I do have one of his gaffs, so
Nice.
that's all. I'll ask him. So yeah, the Changnam, like rodent-sized elephants that would kill you if they stabbed your reflection or footprint.
Yeah, I gotta be careful with that. Like, stay away from my reflection, you baby elephant walk.
Dun, 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 dun.
So this one, yeah, thank you for that.
Yes.
This one came up in the list that I was looking at. Same list you're looking at, but it says a different place, but then also says I didn't read the whole thing yet, but it does also say Sri Lanka. But it, yeah. So, but I thought it was interesting. Alien spores.
Oh yeah.
Um, NPR and Newser have reported that the enigmatic orange substance that descended on an Alaskan village last week has been identified as the eggs of an unknown animal. A mysterious orange goo that appeared on the shores of the small Alaskan village of Kivallanahas have been identified as millions of microscopic eggs filled with fatty droplets. But researchers claim they still don't know what the eggs might hatch or if they are toxic. Janet Mitchell, a city administrator for Kivalani, had this to say about the goo. It was found several miles inland in the freshwater Willock River. The orange material turned gooey and gave off a gaseous odor, but scooped out of the ocean, the substance had no odor and was light to the touch with the feel of baby oil. The eggs were also found at least one roof. Francis, okay. Yeah, okay, so it says Sri Lanka, but only talks about Alaska.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really only talking about Alaska here. Sorry about that.
Yeah. Oh well.
But
No
on the
worries.
map it says India, Sri Lanka, and Alaska, USA.
Okay. I mean, it just I guess they did a lot more research in Alaska, but they did find very similar things in those other areas. My guess.
Yeah.
Uh,
But yeah, I just alien spores looks interesting. I wonder what they hatch.
I don't know. Broken dreams. Broken
Yeah,
dreams.
probably.
Yeah. All right, we got about 10 minutes left. I'm gonna do one big one, and then you can do one, and then we'll do our out. So I made reference earlier. Let's talk about I want to talk about the Oswang. Oswang, yeah.
Hell yeah.
It's based out of Filipino folklore and stuff like that. The Oswang is basically more of a catch-all term. Um, it's based off Sanskrit, which from the old word asura, which means demon. So basically, it's anything like shapeshiftery related, where there's like werewolves, vampires, stuff like that, and change their size. Because it's the
Ghouls.
Oswang, ghouls. So things like basically, but the common themes of these sort of things do like fact just they're all types of shapeshifters. They're basically anything is like they're typically like real people. Then they try to lucid at night. They transform into weird creatures, and then they enjoy doing things like eating unborn fetuses and small children, favoring livers and hearts. Some have long
Same.
proboscis, so they can suck the children out of their mother's wombs of their homes. Um, are so thin they can hide themselves behind a bamboo post. They are fast and silent, but some make noise, uh, which are and stuff like that. So some of the different names, kinds of Aswang include like the Manana Gral, which means remover in Tagalog, which is a woman who is normal by day and by night detaches her torso and sprouts bat wings and eats unborn fetuses. There's the tick tick, which is ones that make noise. It's giant humanoid crows that belong to witches. Um, uh, to stop them, one must remove the crow that is inside their stomach. So apparently, the witches have a crow in their stomach. I don't know. There's the basal, which resembles humans, but they're corpse thieves and grave robbers. They dwell in cemeteries, and they steal fresh corpses from funerals and try to get accesses. But their weakness is salt. And then the bubois, or bubu, B-U-B-U-U, is an oswang with bloodshot eyes that makes the sound of a laying hen at night. So the bubu, as opposed to the yogi, I guess the yogi keeps it in pair. There's actually an oswang festival in Capiz, so you can actually go. It's like a Halloween-like fiesta that's a prelude to All Saints Day and All Saints Day festivals. But of course, Catholics hate it because they spoil all the fun.
They hate everything.
Yeah. So it's like that's sort of fun, and so like the fact is that it's like the weird it's these weird kind of terms of like a lot of these weird ghouls and demons and like vampires and werewolves. Sort of like, but they've gotten so popular that they kind of created their own festival around it too. So it's kind of nice and interesting because they don't have Halloween there; they have this Oswego festival. It still happens at the same time because it's All Souls Day. So, but yeah, the Oswego.
Interesting. You want to do
I
one
don't
more?
know.
You want to
Philippines.
call
Yeah.
it?
No, I mean that's up to you. Like, but it's also it's fucking Philippines, man. There's lots of weird shit that happens there. I mean, we watched that fucking Q into the storm. All the crazy shit happened from the fucking 8chan people living in Philippines doing dumb shit too. So I'm thinking that
Yeah.
dude is an Oswang, or at the very least, he's just a big wang.
Yeah. Actually, I can keep this one kind of short because it seems to just kind of repeat itself a bunch.
Yeah.
But the Ropin. The Ropin, meaning demon flyer, is a cryptid thought to be either a big bat or commonly a pterosaur on New Guinea Island. It is said to produce a light, possibly to attract fish. The Ropin is a cryptid alleged to live in the vicinity of the Indonesian Papua province and the nation of Papua New Guinea. According to the book Searching for Ropins, good book, it is any featherless creature that flies in the Southwest Pacific and has a tail length more than 25% of its wingspan. On the island, the word ropin refers to a large nocturnal creature that glows briefly as it flies. The ropin is the subject of folklore, like a man, but also like a spirit, but it's believed by some natives to be a real animal. Descriptions vary, but it is often said to be bat-like and sometimes pterosaur-like. Although pterosaurs are generally accepted to have been extinct, the ropin is believed to be a nocturnal and exhibit bioluminescence. So yeah, it just keeps repeating itself.
Okay.
But yeah, it's either a pterosaur or a giant bat that glows in the dark.
Yeah. All
That's
right.
it.
That tracks. All right. Let's do some. Let's get our plugs out of the way, and then we'll get out of here and have a good night. So you got anything you want to plug up to go talk about?
And I got nothing. I'm just chilling. No shows this weekend. I don't think I have anything next weekend either. But come
Isn't there supposed to be a thing on the
come
31st?
August.
Isn't there supposed to be a thing on the 31st? I haven't reported it yet because other than us being offered to be a part of that thing, which I can't be a part of it because I don't live locally anymore. But have you heard anything about that?
All I've heard is about that it might happen.
Okay,
Or that it's going to
basically
happen,
the same
but
thing
I
I
have
heard.
no details.
Okay,
Yeah, the
that's why I don't want
31st.
to. Something may be happening on the 31st at Darwin's. Go to Darwin's on the 31st and see what happens.
Yeah, maybe we'll have more information later.
Maybe, yeah.
If
No
you're
problem.
lucky.
Yeah, maybe. Just show up, buy a couple of drinks. Yeah. Buy an old Humble.
Buy me old Humble.
Yeah, buy Old Humble right here. See, which is available here in New York City, New York. So I'm really happy about it. I just have to hustle. I just gotta hassle my. Once I I was blessed with getting a few bottles before coming up here, so I've been slowly meeting them out. And once I get down to my last bottle, I'm going to be hassling my local liquor store about making sure they stock it.
Nice.
I just also so it's gonna be fun. So yeah, New York, it's a place where you can get old humble whiskey, which I'm really happy about. All right, cool. Then as far as for myself, right after this, we'll have the late night fix, where I'll be talking about the 1932 film Hell's House. Tomorrow, got another edition of the Planet Lisdom, who she's talking with Sam Trush, who's like some really cool punk guy from the Canada area. And then I've got the Devil's Hour. Right after that, we'll be showcasing a band from Los Angeles called The Rex. Our good friends Cecil the Sad Clown.
Woo.
And then a really cool band who is like Darling Candy, who is the side project for Groovy Man, who is the lead guy from My Life with Throwkill Cult. Then on Thursday, I've got the G Spot, where I'm talking to this really great composer out of LA by the name of Michael Mortia, who's a really, really interesting guy who's been around forever. So he's got a lot of great stories. So that'll be a lot of fun. More hit random. And then next week, right here in Gaffing the Truth, Scabs and I will be talking about haunted locations. So we're going to find where the more haunted places are around and see if we can talk about that. Let's make it interesting. Let's limit ourselves. That way we keep milking this out. Let's say why don't we already talked. No, we already talked Texas quite a bit, so we're not going to talk Texas because we talked Texas locations before. Let's try to stick it to strictly to the U.S. when we talk about haunted locations. I think it'd be more interesting, so that way we can do like haunted locations of Europe at some point, and so on and so forth. How's that sound?
Oh, yeah.
So I know we've already done Texas because I remember us talking about the weird roads with the weird ghosts and stuff like that before. So although there's still plenty of places to talk about haunted stuff in Texas, but I figure we'll talk just U.S. in general, and then we'll kind of fine tune it as we go.
Hell yeah.
Anyways, yeah. So anyways, everybody, thank you guys for tuning in. As always, be safe, be cool, be groovy, and as always, keep drinking, everybody. And if I can close out.